Good day, everyone. So today we'll continue with elimination reaction. And in this section, I want you to think of changing saturated compound into unsaturated compound, right? So it's from saturated to unsaturated. Then to remember that we use SU. If you're a football fan or a player, you might be familiar with this, the Cristiano celebration. But anyways, this is not for everyone, right? And we only have two types of elimination. And the rule that you are going to use here, it's called Zaytov rule. I'll try and paraphrase that and explain how it works. So carbon with the least number of H atoms will lose an H, right? I'll demonstrate that, then you'll get an idea of what's going on. The first type of elimination that you're going to deal with is called dehydrohalogenation. So in this one, we take a haloalkane, then we use a concentrated strong base with heat to form alkene and salt plus water. So let me write down the conditions for this one. So it must be under a heat reflux. Number two, there has to be a strong concentrated base, and that base must be dissolved in pure ethanol. Let's take an example and see how it works, right? So this is how we apply Zetsov rule. So it says that the H with the least number of H atoms loses an H. So already we know that we are going to lose Cl to form salt. Then checking other carbons, which is carbon number 2 and carbon number 3, you can see that the one with the least number of H atoms is the second carbon. Then it will lose an H, right? So let me use a different color to try and bond two things here. So the green will go and bond with the green. The blue will go and bond with the blue. Right. So by so doing, we'll find a way to form an alkene. So it's going to be 1, 2, double bond. Then the rest, Nl and Cl form salt. H and OH will form water. And that's it. We have an alkene. We have salt. And water, right? Let's take another example. use heat. So already you know that you are going to form salt and water. But how? Then we apply Zetsov rule. Already we know that you are going to form salt with the Cl and K. Then when we apply Zetsov rule, it states that the carbon with the least number of H atoms loses an H, excluding the one that we took Cl from. If you check the third carbon and the last carbon, you can see that the one with the least number of H is the third one. So we'll take an H here. Then it will bond with OH to form water. Then the Cl will bond with K or potassium to form salt. So it's going to be KCl plus water. Then whatever is remaining will form an alkene. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Double bond H, H, H. I hope it makes sense. So we're changing from an alkene, an alkane to an alkene. Well, let me write it down. So we have 2 fluoro, then we have 4 carbons, ethane, then we're forming but2ene. So it's from a saturated compound to an unsaturated compound. Let's do a recap. So under dehydrohalogenation, we're using a haloalkane or a saturated compound. We add a concentrated base using heat to form alkene, salt, and water. And these are the conditions of dehydrohalogenation. There has to be a heat reflux. I don't know what happened here. It should be under a heat reflux. We should use a concentrated strong base, which I listed examples of few. And the base must be dissolved in pure ethanol. Then the rule that we use is called Zaitsev rule. So a carbon with the least number of H will lose an H. And the next elimination reaction that we're going to do is dehydration of alcohol. So for this one, we take an alcohol, then we use a strong acid catalyst to form alkene and water. Let's take an example. So already we'll take an OH, then we'll apply Zaitsev rule and check carbon with the least number of H, not including the one that we took OH from. Then if we were to check the second carbon and the last carbon, the one with the least number of H is the second one. So we'll take an H here. That will bond to form H2O. Then the remaining will form an alkene. It's 1, 2, 3. Double bond there. H, 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 H. So we changed from propan 1 all or propanol to prop 1 in. Right. It's from saturated to unsaturated. Then that's it under elimination. In the next video, we'll do substitution, and that will be all for this topic.